RNA inside of it. So, again, there's this throwing it in the face. Now, I guess they did air it because Nightline's been here, CNN, MSNBC, PBS, HBO. I mean, so this is a promo, and it's coming out when? June 16th. But we've got the promo. The article's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Rise of the New Right, MSNBC documentary cites Alex Jones and Rand Paul as extremist. And just everywhere, we're the big enemies. What do you make of this desperate attack on Rand Paul and Rachel Maddow putting out a fake transcript where he says he's against the Civil Rights Act, which he never said?
I think it's part of trying to fight back. They did that with Glenn Beck and Fox, and it didn't work. In fact, somebody said to me this week that Mr. Beck's ratings had fallen 50%. I don't know whether that was on radio or television. It was probably on radio. And I don't know why, but people are discovering that he isn't what he seems to be. And it's the same kind of thing, using this false propaganda. And they shouldn't do it. I shouldn't give them any advice because I don't want to help them. But they shouldn't do it because they're going to get caught. Communications are too good today. I mean, things happen, and 15 minutes later, they're all over the world, and everybody knows about it. And because of the Internet and because of talk radio, they know the truth. And so that's why the insiders are doing what they're doing. They're desperate. I mean, just stop and think for a minute. What a dumb thing to do with Rand Paul. I mean, he's got all the time in the world between now and November to reverse what they had to say about him and expose the lie. Well, it didn't take very long to do that, but it's dumb that they did it in the first place. And so when people do dumb things, they're being forced into it.
Well, that's in my stack. I haven't gotten to that yet, but we'll cover it next hour. Rasmussen, which is one of the most respected, and other scientific polls show Rand has even gotten a bigger than 20-point lead all of a sudden. He's gained a few extra points with the demonization because the media has been caught lying about him in the last week. But then George Soros has his own polling group through Daily Kos come out and put out basically a fake poll saying he's lost 17 points of support in the last 5 days. Just a complete hoax.
Well, you can expect that from George Soros, who, for your listeners who don't know, that he appealed and was still convicted of stock fraud and market manipulation in France. And he paid an outrageous fine. They should have put him in jail. Had he not been a top member of the Illuminati, he would have ended up in jail.
All right, Bob, stay there. Could you do a few more segments with us?
Of course.
All right, we're going to open the phones up for Bob Chapman, 1-800-259-9231. Bunch of other news coming up straight ahead. Final hour, only 70 seconds away.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange home gain gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com. HomeGain.com. Check them out today.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We'll take a segment or two of calls for you coming up the next segment with Bob Chapman, 1-800-259-9231. Coming up, and when we enter the next break, I'm going to play a promo for the Chris Matthews documentary. They air these things sometimes 20, 30 times, usually more than 15, they told me. He only makes a couple documentaries a year, so this is going to be hyped and aired over and over and over again, sometimes aired multiple times daily. And in just a 30-second promo, who do they go after? Myself and Rand Paul. They are not going to stop. And, of course, the Nightline has been down here to interview us. And Bob Chapman, Nightline has gotten so asinine that they ran a piece. Well, ABC Nightly News did. The same guy who was here for Nightline, the anchor of ABC Nightly News, was here. And this individual, Dan Harris, is so delusional that even when I'd show him clips of world leaders calling for a global government, he would say, well, that's not the global government you're talking about. And he also ran a piece on the Nightly News the last weekend where they imply that if you believe man-made global warming isn't real, you're a Nazi. So they really are overusing this race thing, which I think is great because it doesn't work anymore, Bob.
No, it doesn't. Not in America, that's for sure. I mean, there's racism all over the world. People in one section of France don't like the people in another section of France, and they all happen to be the same religion and the same color. But it just doesn't work. People have got savvy to it. And I think a good part of that is because of the successes of the civil rights movements since the late 1950s. And so you're right. They're playing the wrong cards.
But, I mean, you come out and you say, I don't want government-run health care, and then they call you a racist. I mean, it just... Rand Paul's poll numbers have gone up in the week of demonization in all the major polls except for the fake George Soros one. And with the fake poll, I noticed it got picked up by The Hill and other newspapers to create the illusion, oh, see, he's a loser, trying to use that groupthink of others to go, well, I better not vote for him. He's a loser now. That's a mind game, and I think people are growing up past that.
Well, I think they are as well. And I think that when they interview you, and they don't interview me because they can't find me, when they do interview you, just tell them it's terrific. I mean, do what you want to do because all you're doing is killing yourself. But I'm happy. Do it because we want you to, because we want you to be unsuccessful. You're not going to stop us, no matter what you think. There's too many of us.
Well, I mean, the public's been lied to millions of times. We've caught the politicians lying. And I'm noticing all of these iconic individuals we interview, whether it's Ron Paul or Dr. Paul Craig Roberts or anybody, they're all a lot more hardcore now. I mean, Roberts comes right out with everything. It's on purpose. The whole government's criminal. It's world government. Yes, it's all true. 2 years ago, he wasn't going half that far. You take Ron Paul. He now gives speeches and says we've had a CIA coup. They're bringing the drugs in, when he gets up and gives a speech. So, I mean, people are just saying, you know what, I'm done playing games, you criminal government, you criminal corporations that have been built up around it. We're not going along with you anymore. It's over. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. You want to come kill me? Come try. Well, you know what? I mean, I go back to junior high when bullies were beating me up a lot. It was even before junior high. It was like when I was like 11, 12 years old. And just suddenly I just learned it was better just to go absolutely ape and fight back, even if the kid was 3, 4 years older. And that you don't care anymore. Somebody starts a fight and you're like, great, let's go. I don't care how big you are. I'm going to stomp your guts in. And I think it's that fighting spirit we're getting back, Bob.
I think you're right. It's that burning candle, that light in the darkness that's illuminating everything.
We'll be back with Bob Chapman, one more segment, your phone calls, and I'm getting into a bunch of other news and the globalist eugenics operation. We'll come out of this break with a clip from the new MSNBC propaganda brainwashing piece. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Alex Jones with some important questions. If you're going into a battle,
and they give you a rifle and a sidearm, how much ammunition do you want? My answer would be all I can get. In the battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your only ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it? Now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Can you buy it without proper identification? Will there be any food? Will it make your children sick? If there's a quarantine and you can't feed yourself, will you go to the gathering center and be immunized? You wipe out all these problems if you have a good food supply. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get.